The book by a woman that I most recommend to other people is probably Americana by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. I absolutely love it for its plot, its characterization, the fact that it's epic in scale but very human in resonance. And again, as a book, it really is timeless in that it seems to speak directly to whatever time you're living through and deals with some very important themes around race and identity, but does it in a way that you don't really realise it's happening because the story just grabs you by the throat and you can't help but read on.
Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, which was, I think it was the first novel published by a black woman. She was an African-American writer. It's published in it was written in the 1930s. And I think that's an exceptional book. So I often recommend that to people.
Hayley Rubenfold, The Five. I've always been fascinated by history, and I do read a lot of non-fiction because of my job as a broadcaster in news. And what I loved about what Hayley did with the story of the women that were the victims of Jack the Ripper is she gave them a voice, and that's what women's fiction and women's writing is all about, giving a voice to women.
The novel that I recommend the most to my friends, to family members, to people that I don't even know would be Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's Half Yellow Sun, because it depicts my background, my heritage. A lot of people ask me, where are you from? Where's your family from? My mum's from Nigeria. She grew up during the Biafran War. She didn't come here until she was 11. So she experienced running away from bombs. She was starving. So she experienced this war, but through the eyes of a child. So the stories that I have, they have gaps in the same way that any child's memory of an event would be. And this novel was an education to me. It filled in those gaps. I learned so much about my own heritage, about my own background from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. It's so beautifully, perfectly articulated. So if anyone wants to know more, I direct them because I'm like, there's the information.